We're about 24 hours away from our next adventure on the water.
So that was a little bit of a nightmare.
Look at that. She's pretty. The costs are mounting, that's for sure.
She's in the water. She didn't sink. Well, on second thought, we do have a little bit of water coming into the boat.
All right, it's official. Season 2 starts now.
After taking a road trip through some amazing national parks in the US, we spent the fall working in Minnesota for a few months before going back to Florida to launch Whim and make our way back to the Bahamas. But we are getting a bit ahead of ourselves. First, there was a lot of work and preparation to be done before we could splash the boat.
Amazing how dirty she gets. So I guess there's a sugarcane farm. They burn stuff and the soot gets all over the boats. That gets pretty dirty. It's certainly, boat's dirty. It's amazing how dirty the boat can get, how quickly. I mean, we've only been gone, what, 5 months? And it's pretty nasty up here. All right, well, we're gonna get started getting the windows open so we get some airflow in that boat. Oh yeah. Lots of mold. Must not be as bad as it usually is, because they thought it didn't smell that bad when they got in here, when Jeff and Sil came to check on the boat, but there's plenty. It's not like, I don't know how bad is, but I mean, you know, a good wipe down should take care of most of it. One of our seacocks failed, so we have to replace that. Okay, we just got done with the World Cup and we're about to get underway, and we sprung a leak. So our seacock, one of the seacocks in the bathroom is failing. So as you can see, that's a bit of a problem. It cracked, the whole thing cracked. Doesn't look that difficult once you get the old pieces out, but that's really the challenge for us, is getting those old pieces out, because it's 40 years old. So that's the piece that needs to be replaced, and it's the nut on the bottom against the hull. That's the real issue. So what we did is we cut off this piece, and now we're gonna cut into this is the nut that's stuck. So we gotta get this nut off of there. There we go. Hey, that was the hardest part. We're filled up. Now it's just a matter of letting it harden, and then tomorrow we'll actually start the process of putting in the new seacock. Okay, so now that we've epoxied, this has to go through the hull, so it's going to go through the outside in. Right, this is going to sit on the outside of the hull. So what I got to do is Dremel out the hole a little bit because of all the old, you know, fiberglass and the old sealant and 5200 that they used when they installed the last one. Okay, so now we're ready to put the flange in. I will say, since this is my first time, every little bit of this is freaking me out because I've never finished a through hole. So what I have done is gotten a lot of advice behind the scenes. He's our through-hole producer. So Jesse and his dad have been through and helped with each step and just made sure I've got a lot of advice. This is my first time, so after this, I should be able to do this on my own without an issue. But I think if you're ever going to do something like this, make sure you get a lot of good advice from people who know what they're doing. And you know, the first time is the hardest, and after that, you know what you're doing. At least you have an idea. So. And there is the new through hole.
Sweet, sweet. Nice job. Nice job.
And in typical fashion, what should be a 2-day project took 4 days. That's boat life for you, for sure.
So I am off to do our first grocery provisioning run. Probably have to do a few runs today just because I can't push, you know, more than one cart at a time. Some people can, but I can't do that. So gonna head over to Walmart and then come back to our friend's apartment here in West Palm Beach and repack everything. Yay. So I've seriously been in the same aisle of Walmart for like a half hour. But my cart is about half full and I'm in one aisle. So I've got 2 aisles partially done. The cart is so full I can barely push. So that was a little bit of a nightmare. I thought that we would get this all done today and maybe out to the boat. I wasn't really thinking I could do that, but now I'm not even confident I can get all the shopping done today. So I'm gonna see what I can get done. I think Walmart's open 24 hours, so that's cool. All right, well, it seemed like a lot more when I was carrying up 3 flights of stairs, but here is the first load of provisioning. So I'm gonna take labels off and write the names on everything and take things out of boxes and put them in bags. So excited.
Hey, so we're at the boat again, and now it's time to start loading stuff up and getting ready. I got to do a little bottom paint around the through hole that I replaced, and then we're gonna get the dinghy unpackaged. Then when Krista shows up with the provisions, we'll load that up. So we're getting there, but it's still, we're a little stressed because there's a lot to get done in 24 hours. But we'll make it. I'm excited. Finally gonna be floating. I think I'm near an anthill because I keep getting bit by these nasty red ants, and they sting. So we unwrap the dinghy now. Look at that. She's pretty. So that's it. How pretty. Very excited for this. So that's the bilge area, which drains and keeps the inside dry. And then we have the first locker for the gas tank. That can fit up to a 6-gallon gas tank. We only have a 3, so there's extra space for life jackets. And then we have the locker here, and that is for the anchor and the anchor chain. So we have everything kind of set, and it's all separated so we don't have to store it when we're underway. We definitely needed a new dinghy because we were pumping the other one up all the time, and it just became a real big hassle having to, the water was getting in the cavity, so it would weigh it down and we wouldn't get up on a plane, and we had to go to shore to drain it, and then it would plane fine. But it just really doesn't make for an enjoyable experience, so we just decided we were gonna invest in one and not have to worry about it for a long time.
So I've paused Walmart runs for the day, trying to get some other things done. Took Lily to the vet. I just got to the boat, and Dan is meeting with somebody about the propeller, so we'll see if that delays our splash. It sounds like it might. But in the meantime, I'm gonna unload all the food that we already purchased and get that in the boat. This is what I have right now. You can see I have like all of the breading and stuff for fish and cereals, pasta sauces, pasta, rice, couscous, all that good stuff. Good old instant mashed potatoes. Then we have canned meats and soups and vegetables and all that good stuff. Doesn't stop there, it's all over here. Condiments, spices, pancakes, and lots of veggies. So just to give you an idea kind of where we put all of our food, we're going to be storing it in this area on the starboard side, and then also in our V-berth area underneath the bed. So most of the food will go in those two spots outside of the galley, which doesn't have a ton of storage. That'll mostly be spices and condiments, and then I also put things for the week that we're going to eat in those cupboards. But just to give you an idea of what we have here, because we have this extra starboard bed right here, we actually have a lot of space underneath, which is really cool. I have these 3 under cabinets right here. So underneath these cabinets, we actually have more room under here too. The paint's coming off a little bit in there, but that's okay. So we have that one, and then we have this one. And it actually goes pretty far back. I have a hard time reaching it, so I put a lot of soft stuff back there, but I'm gonna start filling that up. Well, look at this. There's sure still stuff to put away, but like way less food in here, which is really awesome. So we've got these cupboards all filled up with food in the cabinets and then underneath as well. So that's done. I'm gonna fill up the V-berth cabinets tomorrow and the cabinets on the other side of the boat. Still need to go back to the store, but making progress, so it feels really good.
Well, I have an update on the prop. Guys from the service department here at Indiantown came over and took a look at it, and they recommended that we service it. And the bolt that tightens up inside the housing, it's a max prop, so it's a folding prop. So the bolt that tightened against the prop shaft had come loose and caused a little bit of wear to a key that holds everything in place. So they got the prop off this morning, and so I'm going to have the pros handle this service. The costs are mounting, that's for sure. Other than that, things are going well. So it's just a matter of finishing up, getting all the provisions put away. We got most of it loaded up. Still have to provision the beer and the wine. That's going to be its own truckload. Got the guys working on the cutlass bearing. It's quite a piece of equipment to get that thing off. Or actually, I'm sorry, to put it back on. So I think getting it off is a little easier, but I'm glad I didn't take this one on myself. So this one and the prop, I think next time we'll start working on it ourselves, but good to see somebody else do it. Well, so the cutlass bearing's done, that's good. Now it's just get the prop back on and we're pretty much ready to rock.
Okay, you see I put a match mark here and a match mark there.
Okay.
So that I know when I'm done that I got it. You know what I mean? That I'm correct.
There's those little dots right there.
Right.
Okay.
When you put them together with the blades feathered. You know, you put them together flat like this.
Okay.
Okay, just so you know for the future. I would never try to do one of these underwater. You might be able to take it apart, but I don't know how you'd get them together like that.
Right.
Okay, and then the rest of it, you just follow what they say in there. It's a little fiddly, you know, that's all.
Well, so that was Graham. Man, you know, these service guys at these yards are something else. You know, just the experience under their belts for how many years of working on boats. I mean, prop is in great shape. It sounds like it took a lot less time than they had originally thought, so hopefully it'll be probably about a third less than we had anticipated, which is going to be really good. And I just did the oil change out the oil filter. Now I'm going to get in to do the fuel filter and clean out the water separator and put a new filter in there. And then it's going to be up to Krista to finish the provisioning and putting that stuff away. She's got a good plan for that. She's out doing that, and dinghy's working. We're ready to go. Okay, so we're about 24 hours away from our next adventure on the water, and I'm excited, and I feel like everything's safe. Everything is we're well prepared for the most part. You're always missing a few things, and you know, there's just 10 other things we'd love to do before we left, but I mean, we got all of the really important things done so far. So we're pretty happy, and I think we'll have a nice time in the Bahamas, and we'll feel safe. So awesome. Good morning. It's about 7:30, and no, it's about 8. So we called a bunch of distributors, and we were able to find the part we needed. So we're on our way right away this morning to go get the part, the key for the impeller, and hopefully we'll get that in, and we'll be able to splash. It's just a lot of stuff if you're putting boats in the water. There's a lot of stuff to go through, and I seem to just be learning the hard way on everything. But at least we'll be able to get in the water and turn it over and see if we just needed to get some fuel into the lines. If not, we might need to bleed it, and I'm not sure how to do that yet, so we'll see if we can get some help, and stay tuned. Okay, well, we're about 2 hours away from the moment of truth. We came in, we got the part for the impeller. So I put the impeller in and primed the crap out of the fuel system. So right now I don't want to keep running and try to dry start it when we're out of the water. So we're going to have to just wait till we splash. And the worst case scenario, I think, is that we got a little air in the lines, and I don't think that will be a huge issue. I've been reading up on how to fix that and how to bleed the line. So reading up on it, and then put me into that situation, and I'll probably ruin something else. But we're going to give it a try.
She's in the water. She didn't sink. Well, on second thought, we do have a little bit of water coming into the boat. So Dan's gonna check out the rudder post right now and the stuffing box. It's not coming through the through hull that we had to fix, so that's something. Great. Thankfully, it was the stuffing box that was letting water into the boat, and it was an easy adjustment. However, we were nervous about starting up the motor again, so a friend from the marina stopped by to help us get her going.
Well, she lives. I was really nervous about this starting up, and we bled one of the injector valves a little bit and gave her some throttle. I wasn't giving her some throttle, so gave her some throttle, and she burned right up, started right up with a big fat puff of smoke coming in from the engine compartment. That kind of freaked us out. But I feel like that just is a load of stress off of my shoulders right now. And she sounds really good, actually. She sounds really, really tight and clean. Okay, so if you can see the deck, I'm gonna show you some close-ups. But so Indian Town is next to it's like a sugarcane field or something, and they burn a ton of brush and fields. So I'm not sure exactly what they're burning, but they burn a lot, and the ash and stuff falls in the yard and onto the boat, and so when it rains, it really gets the boats dirty. The floor of the cockpit, and that's what happened. And you can just see it, everything is just covered. And if you just go forward to where I've already done a little bit, look at the difference. Okay, well, she's done. She looks good. All nice and pretty. Definitely proud right now. Now I just need to put the Dodger up and the mainsail and put the anchor on, and we're ready to go.
All right, it is finally leaving the marina day, which is awesome. We are not quite ready, but so we are scrambling this morning to get everything done. And I can't find my pants, so I'm wearing shorts and freezing, but whatever. And we're gonna hopefully leave here around noon, go to Stewart, and then tomorrow head down the ICW, and I think we're going to head over to the Bahamas and go straight to Manjack on Tuesday. So Tuesday overnight and a Wednesday, but we haven't made final decisions on that yet. We'll see. We're in the middle of the ICW right now and the engine just died. We've never had this issue before.
Okay, figured out the problem. We decided after all of this that we're gonna end up crossing tomorrow. It is a rough ride today.
Cleaning out the car in sunny, warm Florida. Hi, baby. You wanna go to the marina? Yeah. Go chase some lizards, maybe? Come here. Come here.
We're liking his shirt.